Good morning. As you know, in the 12,000 block of Honey Hill Lane, about 9:48 p.m., we got a call for service, shots fired call. Our officers responded with CFD as well. Upon arriving on the scene, suspects started taking shots at both Charlotte Fire Department and us. Our officers returned fire. It is no secret that one of our officers was struck, Lieutenant Andy Harris, who's now at Charlotte at the Carolinas Medical Center. Just checked on him. He's doing quite well. He was hit, but it's non-life threatening, obviously. Superficial wound to his abdomen. His family has been notified, and he's talked to them. He's alert and having conversations. Again, we responded to the call. Suspect started firing upon us. We returned fire. Suspect was struck. Don't know the condition right now, but we're the investigation's in progress. We're trying to determine exactly what goes on from here. As you know, this is a criminal investigation at this point. Parallel to that investigation will be an internal, just to make sure everything has happened according to our policies as well. Good thing is our officer is doing well. He is in very good spirits, and we're going to keep an eye on him. Carolinas Medical is going to keep him overnight to make sure he's doing well. What are your questions?
Was he the first officer on the scene? I mean, can you talk about how quickly the suspect began firing shots when officers responded?
Sure. It was a disturbance that happened. We were responding to the call, as I said before, and he was one of the first officers on scene. Then two officers came up shortly thereafter, and as soon as the suspect saw the officer and the firefighters, he started firing, and we returned fire at that point.
You know what type of disturbance, or can you say domestic or some other?
Just shots fired call is what we responded to.
Anyone else shot?
It appears that an acquaintance, it was a dispute apparently, an acquaintance was shot as well by the suspect, and we're still investigating that, trying to get to the bottom of exactly what transpired and what initiated that disturbance.
We had heard from a neighbor that someone had barricaded himself inside a home. Is there any truth to that?
Well, we're trying to see exactly what happened. But when we got there, we encountered the suspect who was outside. So nobody was barricaded at the point of us arriving.
And you said the suspect was hit. Any idea of the type of injuries?
Not right now, no. We're still trying to figure that out. He's at the hospital as well, and we'll be able to release that once we get further information on it.
The acquaintance who was shot, is he expected to live as a
Non-life threatening?
Non-life-threatening.
Non-life threatening, yes. But there was an acquaintance who was struck as well.
Driving on I-77, I saw like 15 to 20 police units going, I think, northbound. Was that a chase? Was that related to this incident?
Not that I'm aware of. Again, Charlotte's a busy city, but we did have sufficient resources that responded to this call and handled that. Not quite sure what the incident you're talking about north of that.
Have you guys ever had dealings with this suspect? Any reason to think that he would spontaneously or randomly begin firing on officers and firefighters?
Again, not to my knowledge. That's a part of the investigation that our homicide unit, ADW, will dig into in due time. But right now, what we know is what I've already disclosed. It was a relationship. It was an acquaintance relationship, and it became violent. And then upon our response, the suspect shot at officers as well.
Can you say any more about the lieutenant? Was he the head of that response area, or?
Yeah, he's one of our lieutenants actually assigned to the area, Still Creek Division, doing his work, working night shift as some of our lieutenants do, leading from the front. Responded and was one of the first officers to respond and initiate the situation, and we went from there.
How long has he been on the force?
He's been on since 1992, December of '92.
And so total 3 people were shot, 1 officer, the suspect, and his acquaintance?
That's
Is that
correct.
accurate? Okay.
That's correct.
The original shooting, did that take place inside a dwelling or outside?
Don't have those intimate details yet. Again, it's under investigation right now, trying to figure it all out. But the shooting that involved our officers did happen in the parking lot.
Did the bullet rip through the officer's bulletproof vest, or was he not wearing one?
What's interesting is the officer was wearing a vest. Looks like the vest worked as it should, and which is why we're blessed that the officer is going to recover. We're expecting, and it's superficial, but it was right there at the lower portion of the vest.
Does everyone who is involved, you're not looking for anyone else, is that right?
We are not. Everybody that was involved that we need to talk to, we have them in custody.
Anytime you guys have an officer shot, there's obviously a massive rush to get to the scene. You guys had a huge presence out there. Everybody go according to plan. Everybody do as
What I can tell you is I'm always impressed, I really am, by the heroic work that's done here for the community, for the residents of Charlotte. This is no exception. The lieutenant, leading by example, responded to a call that somebody was calling us, needing our assistance. And the heroism of the officers responding to assist goes beyond question. We're happy. We're happy that the officer's going to be fine, and we're very honored to be a part of an organization where people respond like that to take care of one of their own. Anything else? Take another question or two. Did we ask how many? Thanks so much.
Guys, I appreciate it.